Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of Stage Struck, a very special midweek episode of Stage Struck. My name is Chris.
And my name's Todd.
And today we're here with a very, very special guest, someone from another society, and getting ready for a massive show coming up this time next week from the day that we aired this podcast. It's going to be epic. We're here with the lovely Paige Alexandra. Paige, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
We are so happy to have you. And Paige, listen, you've got a massive week coming up next week. We're going to talk about the show that's coming up. We're also going to talk about you and the parts you're playing and everything. But Paige, let's find out a bit about you, because, you know, a lot of our listeners, maybe the first time they've met you or don't know who you are. So Paige, tell us, where did your performing career start? Where did you start?
Where it all started for me, so I danced for a really, really long time and have done every style you can possibly think of. Then decided I quite like singing, so was in sort of school choirs and things like that. And then at, I think it was maybe about 13, I joined Stage Door Studios in town.
Oh my goodness, and I know Stage Door very well. But for anyone who doesn't know, my mother-in-law runs Stage Door. It's her and, what's her name? Anne. Totally forgot. But yeah, they still do it now. And you were part of that?
I was there for quite a few years. And then when I turned 16, I thought, you know what, this is all right, quite enjoying it. And I joined Halifax Light Opera from the age of 16 and did all of their shows. And I just move around and do shows everywhere. And I've sort of gone a little bit professional as well. I am a chaperone, and I also do dressing as well. So I've done some quite big professional shows over the years.
So just from being in
cool.
kind of that Amdram world, that's linked you into the professional world.
Yeah, I have such a passion for theatre, and it's always been the thing that I can really confidently speak about, and it just makes me so happy in every aspect. Performing backstage, and I just love it. I love it so much.
It's so good. But what we love about Amdram, and I think the fun part about it is, look, we all want to be on stage, we all want to be stars and stuff, but most of us all have normal 9-to-5 jobs, and we have to turn up and do these big shows. So when it comes to performing, you've got this amazing social side where you get to be on stage and have fun. 100%. But what do you do on your normal day-to-day? What do you do?
So in my normal day-to-day, I am training to be a midwife.
Wow.
At the moment, which is just crazy. I've still got massive imposter syndrome.
Wow.
Yes, I'm halfway through my second year, so I've still got a little bit of time to go. But yeah, so delivering babies by day, performing by night. Have
you done, I know it's going to sound really, but have you delivered any babies? Or?
I actually delivered my last one on Friday.
Wow.
No way.
Yeah, little baby boy.
Wow.
Well, congratulations to those new parents. If
Yes.
listening.
Yeah. Wonderful. Look at that. Literally, did you know that your midwife, when she pulled that baby out, she said 5, 6, 7, 8. And that was it.
And then I was on a stage.
And she was on the stage. There we go. That's amazing. Like, that's what I mean. That's what we love about Amdram. You know, people have got all these aspiring, you know, ideas to be performers and want to do something. But of course, we all have to have normal lives as well. And, you know, some people can be lucky enough that they stay within the industry to do it. But I think it's amazing when someone's career is so far left field from what they do.
100%.
It shows you the contrast between both.
In scrubs at 5.
Yes.
Then just in costume at 7:15.
Yeah, that's literally what it's going to be like on show week, because I'm actually in theatres. So in theatres, we do elective sections, MC sections. So I will literally be
Hospital
in scrubs
theatres.
at 5
Wow.
o'clock.
Yeah, hospital, yeah. Wow, she's not going to be
Very
delivering on
stagey
stage. On stage.
Theatre to stage.
She will deliver on stage. She'll deliver a fantastic performance, but there will be
Not
no
baby.
babies popping out. There'll be no like big numbers in a like that. No, there won't be. So it's
But I
fine.
will literally be in scrubs at 5 o'clock, and then by 7:30 on stage in a small light.
Wow.
Listen, that's amazing. That is amazing.
Insane.
So what gave you that bug? Like growing up and stuff. Was there things that, you know? Did you have? Would you say that singing was your hobby, and did you really want to pursue it, or did you just kind of where did you get the bug from?
I don't really know, to be honest. I think because it's the only thing I've ever really known, and it has literally been in my life from day dot. My dad's mum and dad also danced when they were younger, and still do now, actually, I think, at the ripe old age of 70 plus.
Wow, and still go amazing.
And my dad danced, and it's just been that one constant in my life when everything else has kind of fallen apart around me, I've always had theatre. I've always had that kind of release.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's amazing.
Beautiful.
That's amazing, and it just shows you like how you can still have that, you know, that connection and throughout your entire life, you know. And did you ever think at one point that it was going to become your everything, or did you make that sensible decision that a lot of people do make, where they're like, look, listen, I need to have a normal job and a normal life?
I did really want to, when I was sort of looking at universities and thinking about what I want to do for the next stage of my life. And honestly, it boiled down to confidence. I just didn't have the confidence. And looking back now, I do regret it. But I'd never lived away from home, and as much as going to London,
big step, big step,
you know. And I'd never even been to London, never even set foot in London. So
wow,
to kind of make that decision was just, for a little 18-year-old me, was wild. So I just panicked and just went to uni and did something.
Yeah.
But I suppose Amdram is what brought your. And now looking at you now, you know, you're playing big roles and stuff. You know, Amdram gives you that community confidence, being around people where you feel confident enough now. And that's probably why you're at that stage now where you're like, God, I wish if I was now in the same place that I am mentally now when I was 18, it would be a different ball game.
So different, so different. And I've worked so hard, even though it's not my profession. I've worked so hard over the last 17 or so years that I've been doing Amdram. I sort of started at the back of the ensemble line, you know, on the back row doing the swaying, and I've built myself up over the years, and I've worked really hard to get to the place that I'm at now. So
I love it.
Me and Paige have known each other a long time, and through
very long time,
through many different walks of the life.
Despite us only being 21, Todd.
We were discussing in the car about getting old and grey, and but 100%. And what's nice is when you're kind of not in each other's pockets all the time, but you cross lines so many times, especially in this world, and you see that progression. There was a lovely month for me about June time. I did a concert for one of our group, well, three of our groups, Light Opera, and Paige came over to me, and I'm going to out her here, and she said it, and at first she set me up and I really panicked, and she said, can I say something but don't be offended? And I went, oh yeah, of course you can. Oh God, what? And she went, like, I can't believe how amazing you sounded tonight. And I went, why would I be offended? And she was like, no, but like the improvement and the confidence. And it was beautiful. But I've noticed that watching Paige through the years. And you're making this joke about the journey and everything, but you've worked really hard. And I saw a video. You did some sort of concert at the LBT last year, was it?
Yes. It was August.
And you sang. And I remember watching it and just remembering what a great voice you've got. But also, there was just this confidence of you performing in that courtyard and being out there. I think I've just put my hand in your face. We moved all this stuff out of the way to make sure your arms like, ta-da! But you do, and you watch these people grow through, and knowing kind of where your confidence has been over the years.
Rock bottom.
Watching you grow through those parts has been beautiful.
I think it's amazing because it's the hidden part of Amdram that people don't realise. It truly is the community, and if having that kind of that confidence, because sadly, you know, if you don't get the opportunity to be on a big stage in front of like thousands of people, and of course working with big production teams professionally and stuff, you don't get that same value from your peers because you've never had the opportunity. So when you're in the community and you have people coming up to you saying things like that, it's kind of like validation, and getting that 100%. Validation from the same people who have the same interests and the same drive and passion. It means a lot. It means a lot. We know because through JC how we've had many moments of amazing validation and things that really helps us get better and improve and just builds on your confidence. But for you, it's even bigger because like you said, from starting all the way at the back of the chorus line to then building up and moving up and moving up. I mean, we did a show last year. We were in Sweet Charity, and that was a show where we had a lot of fun. Me and Paige, I don't know if you know this, but we had a scene. We had one big scene together, really, I think the whole show, and it wasn't in the script. It was a 5-minute ad lib scene.
Oh, I've heard about this ad lib. Not via your page,
yeah, they basically said to me that we have to do. So basically, what it was, if we're being honest here, they didn't have enough money to make the scene change better and quicker. So, and because we couldn't afford to do that, we needed to fill a bit of time so that we could then literally get charity on stage because she got a big change.
Right.
And there's all this stuff going on. So I think in the script, it's only like a little bit of dialogue, but she needed a lot longer. So
She had a huge
Muggins here was like, well, it's not that long. It's about 3 minutes, which turned out to be nearly 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was just 7 minutes of my character ad-libbing. Herman, the nightclub owner, and he's not spoke much the whole show, but this is his one bit where he's like literally just losing it. And Paige was my go-to because Paige was an integral part, but she was the one that would actually tell me she's ready, you know?
Yeah.
So
So pretty
everything else was
integral part.
very ad-libby, but the moment Paige went, she's coming, I knew. I was like, oh my
And
God,
it
I can
was-
See the
breathe.
sweat dripping down him.
But,
that entire
it was
atmosphere.
changed.
Was this the prepping for the party scene where I've heard about you
Yes.
prepping hors d'oeuvres? And
In
I've,
fact-
I've heard rumour. I don't want to get the company in trouble with any rights holders, but I've heard rumour there was additions of
Oh, yeah.
Victoria sponges and all sorts.
There was
Sausage
there was a
rolls at one
sausage
time.
roll made by
Yeah.
Greg. Don't even know
was
who
it.
he is. Our backstage people got mentioned.
That's it. That's it. Maybe who I've heard.
There were
from.
breadsticks all over the floor at one point.
Oh
I think.
my goodness,
If I
yeah.
remember right.
Oh, now
Oh, there was.
our good friend David Naylor, who we were actually, funnily enough, just talking about in a very good way in
Very
the car.
positive way, David.
We were talking about what a lovely guy he is, but he will not act with food opposite me now because during Grease, I played the kind of foodie character of the Greasers. I'm a very method actor.
Oh, you're- yeah, I'm gonna eat it, yeah.
I had a cheeseburger to eat in one scene, and it was a Rustler's burger that was prepped for me.
Love it.
And I had to eat it and then do all the lovely high notes afterwards, which was really hard.
Beautiful.
There's a beautiful diner scene where food is ordered for the table and they brought us, chipsticks. The salt and
Oh,
vinegar.
yeah.
Brought us
To look
those
like
instead of
fries?
chips, to look like
Oh,
fries. And the other Rustler's burger that I knew was backstage, I didn't realise it hadn't been cooked, so I famously bit into it to the horror of the other greasers that had seen it backstage. And I'm going, yeah, this is great, man. And all this. I then went for the chipsticks and knocked them all over
The floor.
David, who was playing Sonny, who was kind of like the fall guy of the group,
Yeah.
I just went, pick him up like that, and made him pick
Oh,
them all
poor
up.
guy.
And he will never act with. And if you ask him this, we should get him on the podcast and
Oh,
we'll
we
bring up
need to.
his story and we'll get it from his perspective. I don't feel like I'm off very well in it.
Have you worked with David before? Have you worked with David?
I have. So I did The King and I with David, and he was the king, and I played Lady Tian.
Ah.
But it was a lovely part.
He is so like listen. We're not giving too much away here, but we saw some things yesterday because he's one of the apostles, of course, in JC, and some of his work that he does
Is insane.
is insane. I am talking like method. He is in the zone. He is great. If you're listening, David, wow, like amazing.
Fantastic
He
actor.
especially in JC, he's one of those. Growing up doing Amdram, you always, in any sort of theatre, you always get told, especially as a chorus member, the audience are always watching you.
Yes.
And if you're ever the one that's not,
Yep.
and David is the perfect example of you can watch someone at any time, and he is
Always.
telling a full story. And
Always.
whatever character he is in whatever show, there is always a story through his
course.
narrative. Whether he is the main character and about that show, and that's the good thing about a strong ensemble member. Without taking any light from the actual story that is the narrative,
Yes.
you're living just like we all are in life, your main character life through that story.
But don't get me wrong. I think that's a great way because it's so true. Like everybody's watching. My favorite thing, and I'm totally going off topic here, but when it comes to Amdram shows, I am a big fan of those ones that are.
Lad.
Oh no, those ones. Do you know those ones that maybe 20 years ago used to be the main parts, but they're still there, and their chorus work is like Dostoevsky. It is absolutely breathtaking, but so much so that it's taken away from everything that's going on.
Oh, you only watch
I'm
him.
only watching that person. I think there should be a movie or a show made about an ensemble member that gives too much in a show, that their facial expressions and everything are so over the top and big. And listen, we're not going to name names. We know people. We know people in Yorkshire that are like this, and they're so good.
Shooting the looks around there. Going, please don't get us into any tricky water here, Chris.
Let's not get the law involved.
No, but yeah. But listen, I know it sounds terrible. I would rather work with 100 of them than 100 of people who just don't care.
No, this is what Amdram is about, and this is the thing that I've been saying for so long. you know, we can put on the most professional shows, and that is our aim, of course it is. You know, we want audiences to love it, but ultimately, it's the people on that stage doing something that they just really love.
Nail on the head.
You know,
Yeah.
whether they're, you know, not so great at singing or they're not so great at dancing and they're just swaying in the background, they're on there and they're having the best time in the world, and that's all that matters.
They're
Ultimately.
enjoying it. They're living their life, and that's what's amazing. And I always hope that not just the societies that we're in, but societies up and down the country. It's nice to have a bit of professionalism. It's nice to give people that idea of what it could be like if you were doing this for a full-time job.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to remember, and I always say this with directors and people that do these jobs, you got to remember they're doing this because they love it. Right, this isn't. They're not being paid a wage. They're actually paying to be in this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you've got to have a level of discipline when you're doing the show,
Absolutely.
but you've got to remember as well these people enjoy this and this is their passion. So you've got to cater to that as well. It's hard,
100%.
really.
So looking at your past in Amdram, is there one role that stands out that you have played that you think that was either a real turning point for you, or maybe the one that you really feel gave you that boost of confidence to do
Oh
more?
yeah.
Or is it the current role at the moment that you're playing? Is this, do you feel this is your standout?
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
So let's talk about it then. So let's talk about the show. We haven't even
Yeah,
mentioned the
I love
show
it. I
name.
love it. Let's go in.
We'll let you announce the show name.
So it is Boogie Nights, the musical, not based on the film. I do need to stress that.
Yes. The film is
It's
really
so
good. Mark
I've-
Wahlberg.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen. Right, listen.
No, I'm a good innocent boy. I've heard rumour of the synopses of that.
It's
It's a
pretty
bit
full
risky.
on. It's risky, but it's a really good story. Like
Yeah.
it's the idea of, you know, what the movie's about is it's one of those kind of biopics, but it's
Right.
one that's a little bit risky.
Yeah.
But
And definitely
your
not-
musical is
Not the
Yes,
show.
no,
Do
complete
not
polar
think
opposites.
that.
Complete opposite.
No, before we go into it and talk about it, am I right in saying, and I don't know if I am, did Shane Ritchie not do this show years and years and years ago?
Shane Ritchie actually wrote it. He co-wrote it with.
Look at that.
Wow.
I want to say his name's John Conway.
Uh-huh.
And yes, he did when it was in its West End transfer. I think it was the Savoy. In '89.
Yeah.
Possibly.
It was, yeah.
Yes, he played the main role.
The only reason I remember the poster, and I remember him being at the front, and he was wearing like a glitter kind of disco suit. But I didn't know he wrote it.
He did.
You'd be the other one that
He
would
did.
remember that because we were around. So.
Shocking. That's
then,
shocking. Savage.
Quite a few years later, when they revived it, his son.
Oh,
Shane Ritchie
yeah,
Jr.
Junior.
actually played the same role as well.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
Nice full circle moment for them.
So what's the show like? Just give us like a brief kind of like synopsis of the show. What is the show about? Like Boogie Nights.
So it is about a guy called Roddy who is a bit of a Jack the Lad, you know, your typical kind of 70s guy, and he really wants to be a rock star. That's his ultimate dream, and it's basically just following him through you know, his life and his getting to that goal, and then you sort of bring friends into it and his girlfriend and his father, and it's just a really lovely story.
Feel good.
Really, really, really feel good. It's got its highs, it's got its lows, and it's great, full of 70s disco music.
So Boogie Nights is a title. Lends to the idea. There's going to be a bit of boogie in it.
And
like a good
ironically,
tissue, you know.
the song Boogie Nights is not actually in the show.
Oh my goodness, like Boogie Nights. Oh,
Actually
right,
in the
okay.
show.
Wow.
But there's so many 70s bangers in there. You know, Boogie Wonderland, Celebration.
Oh, Boogie Wonderland's my favourite.
What else have we got? Play That Funky Music.
I mean, Well Cherry, love it.
Disco Inferno. What else have we got? We've got so many.
Do you know what's great
so
though?
many.
With all these songs, if you're going to do a jukebox musical, right? 70s disco lends itself so well to having a story and making
it does.
sense. Like Disco Inferno, like something burning down,
Yeah.
you know, Boogie Wonderland. Like,
Without seeing the arsonist in Chris, and we're all panicking.
That's what's going to happen. That's how we open the second act.
No spoilers.
But Disco Inferno is actually my song.
Oh,
And
nice.
Exciting.
I am buzzing to sing it.
and who do you play on the show?
So I play a character called Trish, and she is basically me. I don't really need to act. She's just me. She's a bit geeky. She's a bit on the outside. She absolutely feeds. So her best friend is Debs, who is Roddy's girlfriend in the show, and she just feeds off Deb's drama. She just, you know, and ultimately she loves her friends. You know, she wants everyone to be happy, and she's also got her lovely boyfriend Terry, who we kind of stuck together through the entire show. And yeah, it's just really nice. But she is basically just me. I don't.
And you
I don't
get,
really need
and you
someone.
get to sing Disco Inferno. And that's
I
one of your.
do.
Oh, you get one of the
Oh,
bangers.
honestly, goosebumps every time.
That's a banger.
So exciting.
Do you feel?
it.
Do you feel with this show, like Boogie Nights, like some of the songs, like they're so iconic and stuff? How have you found it, like vocally? Is someone maybe like not taking on such these big roles, but like with Trish?
Yeah.
A lot of kind of vocal stamina and things. How have you found the kind of the difference between the parts that you played before to where you are now?
It's been so different for me. So I am very musical theatre. My voice is very musical theatre, and this is so wildly different to anything that I've ever had to do before. And Disco Inferno is a very belty number, which I'm used to. I'm kind of trained to belt, but yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
You're placing your vocal cords so differently when
Yeah.
you're singing like a jukebox kind of musical.
Yep.
So yeah, it's been hard, and I've been a little bit poorly over the last few weeks, so that's been difficult to kind of navigate. But I love it. I love doing something different.
Yeah.
This is the thing.
Do you feel it's been like a challenge in a good way, like something that's
100%.
probably going to shape you for when your next show comes up? You're going to
100%.
take things from it.
Yeah, so this is, I mean, I've played supporting roles before, and a couple of kind of principal roles, but this is the biggest role I've ever done before in my life. And I feel, and with any part that I'm given, I feel so honoured to have been trusted with this.
Yeah.
I've had such a difficult time, sort of with parts and things. Obviously, I'm a bit of a bigger girl, so I don't often get trusted with parts for various different reasons. I don't look right and that kind of thing, and that's the biggest confidence knocker for me. But I cried when I got this part.
That's right. We talked this, yeah.
We discussed that idea of getting a part and
Just change it.
very openly about the emotion
Yeah.
of it.
My
Yeah.
lovely friend Kira, who is the MD, rang me, and again on the audition day I was so poorly, and I just walked in and said, I'm really sorry, I'm going to try and sing and we'll just see what comes out. And it was fine, it wasn't the best I've ever done, but it was fine. And she rang me and she was like, we really want to like offer you the part.
Oh my
It was
God.
unanimous.
You
And I
must
was
have just been like,
no, you're lying.
Oh, that's lovely. So, as a society, do they do the phone call through?
They do.
Oh, that's like X Factor.
I love
They
that.
do.
I love that.
I
They
love
do.
that.
And it's great. It's really nice. And then the director rang me. It was either the same night or the day before, the day after. Sorry, and was like, I just want you to know you're gonna smash this. It's gonna be
Oh,
great.
that's amazing.
Is
And
that-
you've not even
that
done
was
one
lovely.
rehearsal.
Yeah,
You
and
haven't done anything yet. And to know that you come into that show with that
Yeah.
validation and that confidence
Absolutely.
just helps you 100
And do you
times.
know what? That's the thing about this society. They are just so supportive. Every single person in that room, whether they've auditioned for the part and not got it or not, they're so supportive, and they
Amazing.
just want you to be your best.
That is so
And I love
lovely.
that.
That's the community. That's what
It's
we're talking
so
about, isn't it?
nice. It's so nice. There's nothing worse,
No, that
feeling-
feeling uncomfortable and
yeah.
feeling like you can't do
Exactly.
anything.
Exactly.
It's how long have you? Because I let you know more about the society as well. Because I'm like being from Scotland, I'm only learning about the main societies that are close by. So like opera, Chaos. But like, tell us a little bit about the society and how, like, if you know any of the kind of history about them and stuff, like how long they've been going and things like that.
Embarrassingly, I actually don't know how long they've been going.
Right.
A really long time. So they're based in Huddersfield. My very first show with them was 2016,
Wow.
I think.
So you've been with them a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we did Rent, and we did it at the Picture in Holmfirth, which was the most perfect venue.
Oh, really?
For
Yeah.
that.
Nice.
If you don't know anything about Rent, it's really
And what-
grungy.
No, do you know?
So work.
I don't know Rent very well at all. So
No.
I know.
Oh, my
I know. I'm
Lord.
really, really bad lover.
Incredible
Very
show.
sure.
The music is amazing. But yeah, I did that show with them in 2016, and then I did Legally Blonde with them. Had a little bit of a break and COVID and everything, and then I went back to do Priscilla, Queen of the
Nice
Desert.
show that was.
Do you know, I've never seen it. I've never seen it yet, and a lot of people say it's
God.
really good.
Was that the recent one?
It was not last year, the year before.
Yes. Yeah,
Was
yeah,
that the
yeah.
one
with Ned?
Ned?
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
so
thinking.
one of our
Yes.
apostles.
One of
was
our
the
apostles.
lead.
Yes.
Yeah, he was brilliant
And
in that.
gorgeous best
As was
friend.
Paige.
Yeah.
It was just in the background.
Who we won't say what, but who has just had some lovely news as well.
Oh, yeah, that's
On
right,
social
yeah.
media last
I've
night.
just stopped crying, can we not?
I know. I got a bit emotional last night as well.
He's so good.
I went to the Victoria Theatre last night to see a drag show. And it was fantastic, by the way. And I was sat in the audience,
And you got the
saw
message?
news, and I was like crying in the audience, and my poor mum was next to me, and she's like, "What is wrong with you?" But yeah.
Drag show was really getting me. Just the way she done Big Spender. It was the best. Big
Actually, you do
Spender.
Big Spender, but I'm really.
Oh,
If she doesn't think I am what I am, I'm going to leave right now. Oh, my God, that's a terrible show
the
then.
new one for that is Let It Go now. I've seen that done a couple of times.
Oh, is that the new?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
my new.
It was really good though. It was brilliant. Love the drag show.
So you've been with them quite a while. Look, is it so? The name is that? Is it Woodhouse? Is that what?
Woodhouse Musical Theatre Company. And they're just such a fantastic society to be a part of.
I've heard nothing but great things.
Yeah, I've seen some
like
great
a
shows
lot of
over
friends
there.
have said to me, like people since like coming down here, like when they talk about like societies they've been in and stuff and what they do, I've heard nothing but glowing reports. Not just the productions or the productions. And listen, you can have great shows and bad shows, but the most important thing is how is the actual company? And people say like the rehearsal period, everything is a great atmosphere.
We put on a fantastic show. You know, if you're coming to see Woodhouse, it's going to be a bloody good show. You know, no expense spared.
Amazing.
We really do, you know, put everything into it. But they're just such a gorgeous group of people. I can't even explain. Like even now, I'm talking
Your
about
cast.
it, I'm smiling.
Yeah.
And some of my absolute best friends in the world are people from Woodhouse. In fact, all of my friends are, you know, theatre people. And that's another great thing about amateur theatre, isn't it? They're just so supportive and so beautiful, and we laugh every rehearsal. And when I say laugh, I mean belly
laugh.
Yeah.
And that's what you want.
The rehearsals do look great fun. Do you know how I know that? It's because when I've been just kind of doom scrolling on the internet,
I know what you're going to say.
there seems to be, I don't know if it is new, but it's new to me, some social media channels of Woodhouse popping up, playing some very traditional, like it's been around for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Some very iconic kind of TikTok games, kind of Guess the Voice, things like that. But also seeing some of the rehearsal process. So I'm right thinking Lauren's choreographing as well.
She is.
Who we did Adam's Family with, who gave me one of the hardest bits of choreography. We all had to do it, but she made me do it as well. One of the hardest bits of choreography I've ever had to do with arms.
You think that's bad? You've not seen
I
anything yet.
can imagine. In disco, it's going to be full on.
But these great games, and already like that, I see that and I go, that looks incredibly fun. I want to book a ticket.
Yeah. But you know what?
so
This is the thing as well. It's great, isn't it? Like social media now, like TikTok and like all these reels and stuff you put together. Like how appealing it makes it look to people who are sitting at home and going, because there is, and we mentioned this in the first episode. The biggest. I always think the hardest part for anyone that wants to join a society is taking the first step.
Getting through the door.
It's getting through the door. See, once you're through the door, it's then harder to leave.
Oh,
that's the hardest thing, is
absolutely.
making the decision to say, I can't do that show. That's the harder one, because the big one at the start is just taking that step. And there are so many people at home who want to be in shows, who want to do this, but they don't know where to go and how to do that. And with these little TikToks and these social media things, it just garners so much excitement, and it just says to people, hey, look, we've all got jobs. We all work 9 to 5. You know, I'm delivering babies on a Friday and singing Disco Inferno on a Friday night. You know what I mean? It's like, this is what it's all about. And it's so nice. And I love the fact that it's a great rehearsal room and everybody's so supportive. It's amazing.
I've got this great kind of visual in my head of Paige delivering a baby, just kind of humming Disco Inferno to us. I was saying that he was on.
Baby bird.
I
Don't sing Bird, Baby Bird, holding a baby, please.
What's the start of the second verse? She goes, satisfaction, yes, believe in a chain reaction. I love it, man. I love it. It's so good.
I also can't think of Bird, Baby Bird. I'm sure Donkey sings that in one of the Shrek films. I'm sure you know when he's just kind of annoying Shrek. And
Oh,
he's
he does.
And I've just got his version.
Yeah. Such an annoying song.
So
No,
it's
stop.
a reminder of Donkey from Shrek. Is what he's
You
saying.
know, that's probably the nicest compliment I've ever given you in all our lives.
It is.
I was thinking, I could only count on my hand one show we've done together. Is that all we've done? In all our time of friendship and being around the same societies, I think we've only done Adams together.
We did History Boys together as well.
Oh, you were in history.
I was.
We talked about history.
Yeah, we talked about it, yeah.
God,
Yeah.
you were in history.
I only had a very tiny part, and it was more.
You were one of my conquests in history, boys. I had to graphically describe our night together.
Oh,
to
nice.
lads. You know, that kind of
Yeah,
teenage
yeah.
showing off.
Here's what I did.
completely forgotten about that, Paige. Thanks for bringing that up. Great story for the podcast.
I think that's the only two we've ever.
That was when I was playing my good looking roles in my
Back in
early
the day.
20s. And the second time was when I was bald and fat playing Uncle Fester.
Your
a
career
gravelly
trajectory,
voice.
your
And I
career
was-
trajectory just went woo.
It's all right. I was a Greek ghost, so you know.
We were fully painted white.
It's so funny you say all this because you two were in Adam's Family together, and I came and seen Adam's Family. That was my first Dram show that I saw in Yorkshire.
What did you think?
Was Adam's Family? I loved it. No, here's my honest opinion about Adam's Family, though. Here's my honest opinion, right? The roles and the people that played the roles were fantastic, like fully invested. The girl that played Wednesday, what I don't know who she is. What a voice!
She's called Jess. She's actually playing Debs.
And Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
Look at the
Amazing.
segue.
It's
This is if it was
Max.
meant. Look at that. She is phenomenal. Like, she's got a voice on her, that girl.
She is the most incredible actress, and I just can't take my eyes off her.
Wow.
I'm obsessed with her, and she knows it. This is nothing new.
That's amazing.
obsessed with her.
But see, I loved all the parts. Like, and oh my God, our Becky played
Mary.
our Mary Magdalene played Morticia Adams, and she was phenomenal. But I'm going to be honest with you, and this is my brutal, honest opinion of Adam's Family. It's one of those shows that the songs are not as memorable, that I don't
No, they're not.
leave.
I agree.
I went and saw, to give an example, I went and saw Lord of the Rings, the musical, years and years ago in London, right? Because I'm a big geek, right? And I remember leaving and not once humming a song or thinking about a song and going, what was the songs?
Yeah.
And that was the same with Adam's Family. Now, when I hear Adam's Family, I think, doodle-doo-dum. That's it.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of all the numbers and the solos and things. And it's just one of those shows for me that doesn't have the iconic numbers. As a show, it's great, but it doesn't have those lasting, numbers.
There's some nice musical bits in it. I remember Kira, who's MDing that, MD'd for us, and she's great because she talks you through when you're singing something with her. She goes, "I really like this bit," and then she understands her music so well. She sees all these little motifs, and she goes, "You notice if you slow that down, it goes da 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 or whatever," and you go, "Oh, I've noticed that."
Right, okay.
And there's all these little bits in there that made me really appreciate the music
Yeah.
more. And talking of appreciating music, leads us on to our little game that we've started playing.
Oh, yes.
So speaking of appreciating music, we have a little thing called Desert Island Musical.
Okay.
There's never been anything called Desert Island Disc. We've
No,
never got
not
this
at all.
idea from anywhere.
Copyrighted, limited, just by us. That's it. Yeah.
So you're stuck on a desert island.
Yep.
I don't know how it's happened. You've come off the Titanic, or well, you won't be on a desert island, would you, if you've come off the Titanic? But you're stuck on an iceberg. You can only listen to one musical for the rest of your life.
And it could be for any reason. It could be for like something, and that we've had some really interesting answers with this of why they choose the musical or things like that. But it's just on repeat, and also you can listen to it, but you can watch it. So you can watch it on like a device.
Yeah.
But it's only that. What would the musical be on your desert island?
It's so hard. People ask me stuff like this all the time, and I never know. There's so many. I'm gonna say "Come From Away."
Oh, nice.
Interesting.
I love it, and I can't explain why.
Yeah.
I'm very musical, so like back sort of when I started, I played instruments and things like that as well. To add to the first question that you
Oh,
asked
I never
me.
knew that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I played brass. I was
Nice.
So cool. I was in a marching band when I was like 12.
And little do you know, in Boogie Nights, she has a trumpet solo.
Yes, I do.
In Disco
In Disco
Inferno.
Inferno. Well, delivering a baby. It's going to be crazy.
A trumpet solo into a tap solo. And
Everything.
then I have to belt Disco Inferno after. I'm joking. So I love music and I love
Yeah.
the musicality of things. And I just think the soundtrack is incredible.
It's emotional.
Yes.
It's God, your desert island. You're going to be a sad wreck on that island.
And
You're going to be
it's one of those
crying.
things like I remember it happening.
Yeah.
There's so many musicals out there, based on true events that I don't really remember. Yeah, you're kind of emotionally attached to it.
Attached,
when you watch
yeah.
it, but I remember that I lived through that, and I think that
The
just kind of hits a nerve.
The connection of it.
And don't get me wrong, I love a good cry.
Yeah.
I love a
I think a
good
good
cry.
music, but I think that's, I'm going to be honest though, I think a lot of musicals today shy away from that connection now. It's all about flash pizzazz. You know, if it's a movie, we'll make it a musical. Whereas this is so harrowing, but at the same time, the music's uplifting. That it's so beautiful.
And a musical needs to make you feel everything. You need to be laughing so hysterically that it hurts, to crying, to, you know, you need to feel everything in between. And that's what I love about theatre. And especially Come From Away, you know, you're belly laughing 1 minute and then you're hysterically crying the next minute. And I love that.
I think Come From Away, though, for me, like Come From Away, I've made this. So there's a few musicals that I make this choice with, and it's a choice where I would listen to the album. So I listened to the album, and it really, without seeing it visually or what's going on, it struck a chord emotionally. And I remember going, "Oh my God, I can't watch it." So I've never seen it. I've never watched it. I've got it there. Like, I can watch it on streaming devices and I can watch the whole show. But I think it's one of those ones for me it's the same with Next. I feel the same way about Come From Away as I feel about Next to Normal. Next to Normal musically, emotionally, I connect with on a big level, but I haven't seen it. And I think that's the way I feel about Come From Away as well. You know, it's so beautifully written.
It is.
There's voices and
I've seen it a couple of times now, and you're just so fully immersed in it. It's one of those where I'm not sat thinking about anything else. I'm watching what is going on, and I'm not thinking, "Oh, my seat's a bit uncomfortable. My mum's going a bit numb. I need to stand up." And my partner, who is not into musicals at all, he's very much, you know, sports. Loves it.
Yeah.
And actually listens to the soundtrack more than I do.
I
think that really
it's
shows
the connection.
you.
It's the connection. It's like you said, they absolutely nailed it in the head when they made that connection with what the tragedy of what happened to this musical. But the music isn't, how to say this, it's not depressing.
No, it isn't.
It's uplifting on a level that acoustically, like, there's some amazing guitars in there and like everything, and just, it's a beautiful show.
And I love a sung through musical.
Yeah.
There's very little dialogue in it. And I think it's a one act as well, which I love. And it's the pace.
Yeah.
It's just constantly moving. And I love that. The one thing I despise, and this is professionally, amateur, world, whatever, is a scene change.
Oh yeah.
I can't
With you on that.
stand it when they come on and they bring everything on.
In the black.
And they set up, and then they go back off again, and then the cast come on. I can't stand it, and I sit and cringe. But this isn't that. It's speedy, and they're constantly moving
on time. It's nice.
And I love it.
Do you know my only issue with one-act musicals? When are you getting your ice cream?
Yeah, exactly. There's no ice cream, mate. You have to get it at the start or not.
Although, do you know, I won't say which theatre it was, but the last time I went to get my ice cream at the interval, I went at the end of the interval because I like to have it, you know, have a little nibble kind of as if things going on, and not everyone around me. And she'd literally just locked the ice cream cabinet with the key still in her hand, and she wouldn't sell me an ice cream. And I got a bit annoyed. And probably more annoyed than I should have done over a white Magnum. But I was like, can you not? I've got the money in my hand. Exact change.
You don't need to do anything. I'm going to be controversial and say I don't like an ice cream at a vehicle.
I don't. I'm with you, Paige. I'm with you. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. No, but I don't know what. I don't know where. I think it's like an old movie theatre, because like in the movies they used to do it as well. It was ice creams and stuff. But I don't want to be sitting there. I'm going to tell you something right now. I went and saw this. This is how bad my theatre etiquette is, right? Back in the day. So I went to see my friend in an Amdram production of Rent, right? And he was playing Mark. Brilliant. And I got a ticket for myself to come see it. Loved the show. Roger's one of my favourite roles. Really loved the whole show. And I was like, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to enjoy it. But I was late. I was doing a job during the day. I was doing a children's theatre job, and then I was coming straight to the theatre, and I was starving. I was so hungry. So I went. No, it's even not as classy as that, and that's how bad it is. So we've got these things in Scotland called potato scones, scones, and they come in a pack of 6. Right now, the thing with a totty scone is you fry it and you eat it. However, when you're drunk on a Sunday morning, and if you wake up and you're hungry and there's a packet of cold totty scones, you'll sit and eat them. I went to this shop, right, and I didn't want chocolate, and I just wanted a sandwich or something. I was starving, and all they had was a pack of totty scones.
Oh, Christ.
And my friend said to me, when he sat there on stage, and Angel's about to die, and you've got half a totty scone hanging out your mouth, He said, genuinely, it was one of the worst moments he'd ever seen. And I went, I feel really bad because I looked like such a skank. I'm opening, you could hear me opening it and then just sitting there eating a tortoise scone watching Rent. That's how bad my etiquette is. I promise it will never happen again. It was a tough time.
We've not come across well at this pod.
Oh, you haven't.
You've got
Don't ever invite us to shows.
you eating totty scones on the front row. Me getting cross about magnums.
Don't ever invite us to come and see a show.
Do you know, I've tried to be really critical about that. I bet there's some poor usher out there watching this going, it's him. That's the man that got annoyed about a white magnum.
I remember him. I remember that guy.
I remember that totty
I'm
scone.
officially barred from that theatre
That
forever.
ice cream boy. How dare you? So listen, Paige, the big thing is the show is coming up next week. So this is, we like to throw this to you now. Just tell us where people can get tickets, follow the socials and all that fun stuff as well.
Absolutely. So tickets are available on the Lawrence Batley Theatre website. The show runs from, I hope I get this right, from the 25th to the 29th of March, including a Saturday matinee.
Nice.
Tickets for the Thursday, Friday and Saturday are selling really quick. So if you're planning on going then, get tickets soon. We do have a Facebook page. We also have an Instagram page and I believe a TikTok page now as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
That's when I first saw it, yeah.
Everything keeps popping up. So yeah, it's going to be great.
And what's the Instagram? Is it just Woodhouse?
I can't remember.
Oh no! So it's just
I
like
think it's Woodhouse MTC.
MTC.
I think so.
Okay.
Woodhouse
Woodhouse.
MTC.
We'll leave a link in the description. We'll leave it down below so people can go and follow and stuff.
That's
and
really bad. I'm
and
so
make sure.
sorry, guys.
No, not at all.
We have
Not
an
at all.
amazing.
Honestly,
social media
she'll be at the
team.
she'll be at the show. She'll be at the show. I
will.
promise
I
you.
will turn up,
She'll
I
turn up.
promise.
Even if there's a baby hanging out, she's dragging it to the. She'll be there. I promise.
I just perform. We have a great social media team who deals with
They do all that stuff. It's great.
They're fabulous.
It's gonna be great.
But yeah, if you're around the LBT in the next few weeks, we're going to be, flyer in and things.
I love it.
Exciting.
And LBT, what a theatre as well. Have you?
Oh, it's a lovely
It's
space.
beautiful.
I'd only be. I think I went the first time last year, and I was so blown away by
Have you
it.
been in the studio space there?
No.
I've done some work down in the studio space. Yeah, that's a
Nice.
that's a
Let's
great.
not talk about the studio space. Have you been backstage?
No.
Oh my God,
yeah.
incredible.
Is it?
lovely backstage area.
Massive green
There's
room.
not a bad seat in the house though. Like all the level, I love the levels. Like,
yeah.
because I'm going on the Wednesday. I'm going to see the show on the Wednesday, the first thing, and I am at the not the stall, but the one above, there. And I sat there for my little girl. She had her dance show there, and just the seats and those side seats with the tables as well. So nice.
I'm a nightmare. I always end up booking late, and I always end up on the sightseeing. You know, the ones that are normally like bad views, and it's not.
The side seats are great though because they've recently, in the last 5 years maybe, renovated it, and the seats don't actually face inwards.
Yeah,
they are tilted towards.
Go to that way, yeah.
So there really isn't a bad view anywhere. But
Nice.
this green room, I'm not even joking. Got an air fryer.
Wow.
We've got an air fryer.
I've
and
not
we've
been
got
there since the
filtered
air
water.
fryer.
Oh my God, you could take your Rustler burger from Greece,
Mate,
throw
I
it in
eat
the air
them raw.
fryer.
I eat
Do
them
you know
raw.
what?
It's fun.
But when you're living in a theatre for a week, it's the little things.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is the little
Yeah.
things. We've got sofas and everything's brilliant. The dressing room's fantastic. And the staff at the LBT are just incredible.
Wow.
They're a brilliant set of people. And it's a beautiful theatre to
It's going to be
sing
great.
out to.
It's going to be so good. Cannot wait.
I'm so
Cannot wait.
excited.
So listen, make sure you follow pages, all the groups' pages, or we'll drop everything in the description. And of course, next week, from the airing of this podcast, Boogie Nights coming to the Lawrence Batley Theatre. It's going to be absolutely epic with our very own Trish. She's going to be there as well. Folks, Paige, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
It was so nice. So nice having you here. And just find out, it's just nice to find out other societies and what's going on. And Woodhouse seems to just keep growing with this amazing reputation.
Honestly.
That's it. And if you've got a society or show that you want us to kind of talk to you guys, drop it in the comments.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, come and see us. We want to see you too. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Spread the love and share the love. And, we're all about the arm drama. It's going to be great. Folks, thank you so much for watching the Stage Struck podcast and listening to us on all your fruit-related devices. And, of course, on Amazon Music, Apple Music, and Spotify. My name's Chris.
My name's Todd.
And we'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.